upset. Welcome everyone. Today, I want to talk about something powerful, something simple yet life-changing. The title is Stronger, Upset, Healthier, Better, One Step at a Time. When people think about changing their health, upset, they often imagine that it has to be some massive, dramatic overhaul, something like suddenly giving up every unhealthy food, upset, working out 2 hours a day, and adopting a brand new lifestyle overnight, upset. That kind of thinking is what actually holds most people back because it feels overwhelming. The truth is that real upset, lasting change comes in small, steady steps. One step at a time is not just a nice saying, it's the only way the body, upset, the mind, and even our habits truly adapt, upset. The reason this approach works is because human behavior is built on repetition and momentum, upset. When you try to take on too much at once, your stress levels spike, your willpower gets drained, and your body rebels, upset. But when you focus on a single, simple change, you give yourself the chance to succeed and build confidence, upset. Think about it this way, if someone drinks 5 cans of soda a day, upset, it would be almost impossible for them to quit cold turkey and feel good about it, upset. But what if they just cut down to 4 cans for a week? That's one step. It's manageable, it doesn't feel like punishment, upset. And yet it's already a 20% improvement. After a while, that person can cut down again, maybe to 3, then 2, upset, and eventually none. The body adjusts, the taste buds reset, and the craving for sugar weakens. This process is sustainable, upset. And the change sticks because it's not about force, it's about steady progress. The same principle applies to exercise, upset. If someone is sedentary, jumping straight into an intense workout program will likely lead to burnout or injury, upset. But deciding to walk for 10 minutes after dinner every night, that's a step anyone can take. Over time, upset. That 10 minutes can become 20, then 30, and before long, upset. The person is walking several miles without even thinking about it. These small steps are powerful because they compound, upset. Just like interest in a bank account, upset. Little deposits of effort accumulate over time and create a transformation that seems huge when you look back, upset. Imagine making just one small healthy choice each day for a year. That's 365 improvements. It's the same reason that habits, upset, good or bad, shape the entire course of someone's life, upset. One small choice made repeatedly has a bigger impact than one big choice made once and abandoned, upset. It also takes away the excuse of waiting for the perfect time. Many people say they'll start their health journey on Monday, upset, or after the holidays, or when life slows down. But if it's only one step, there's no reason to wait, upset. You can take that step today, right now, because it's simple and realistic, upset. Another important factor is that small steps change how you see yourself, upset. Every time you succeed in keeping a small promise to yourself, upset, you reinforce the identity of someone who takes care of their health. That shift in identity is more powerful than willpower, upset. For example, when you start choosing vegetables instead of chips, even just once in a while, you're teaching yourself, upset. I'm the kind of person who makes healthier choices. Over time, the brain wants to stay consistent with that identity, upset. So the healthy choice feels more natural and automatic, upset. This is how lasting habits form, not through massive effort in one big burst, upset, but through steady repetition of small actions that eventually define who you are, upset. The beauty of taking one step at a time is that it removes the fear of failure, upset. You don't have to think about the next 10 steps, only the one in front of you, upset. You don't need to know exactly where the journey will end, you just need to move forward, upset. And when you look back after months or years, you'll realize how far those tiny steps have taken you, upset. It's not about being perfect or about speed, it's about direction and persistence. Upset. One step in the right direction is infinitely more powerful than standing still, waiting for the perfect plan. Upset. That's how true transformation happens. Upset. And that's why small steps create big change. Nutrition is the single most important foundation for becoming stronger. Upset, healthier, and better. Your body is like a highly advanced machine. Upset. And everything you put into it has a direct effect on how well it functions. The food you eat is not just fuel for energy. Upset. It is information for your cells. It tells your metabolism how to operate. It shapes your hormones. Upset. And it even affects how your brain thinks and feels. When people overlook nutrition, upset. They often try to compensate with exercise or medications, but without the right fuel, the body cannot repair, recover, upset, or perform at its highest level. Every bite you take is either moving you closer to health or pushing you away from it. Upset. And that is why nutrition truly is the foundation. Upset. One of the biggest problems today is the overload of refined sugar and highly processed foods. Upset. These are engineered to taste good, but are stripped of nutrients and packed with empty calories that stress the body. Upset. Sugar spikes insulin, and when insulin is chronically elevated, it drives fat storage, fatigue, and cravings. Upset. This creates a vicious cycle where the more sugar you eat, the more you want, and the harder it becomes to stop. Upset. That's why so many people feel stuck in their health journey. Upset. But the encouraging truth is that the body can start healing the moment you reduce sugar and processed carbs. Upset. Swapping just one sugary drink for water or replacing a bag of chips with an avocado. Upset. Begins to shift the chemistry inside your body. It's a small step that sends a powerful signal to your metabolism. Upset. Nutrient-dense foods, on the other hand, give your body the building blocks it needs to thrive. Leafy greens provide magnesium. Upset. Which calms the nervous system and helps regulate blood sugar. Upset. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale support liver function and help detoxify excess hormones. Upset. Healthy fats such as olive oil, coconut oil, and grass-fed butter stabilize blood sugar and keep you full. Upset. Reducing the urge to snack on junk food, high-quality protein repairs tissues, builds muscle, and strengthens the immune system. Upset. When your diet is centered around these kinds of whole foods, the body begins to regenerate naturally. Energy improves. Upset. Mood stabilizes, and weight often balances out without extreme dieting or deprivation. Upset. Another aspect of nutrition that people underestimate is timing. Upset. When you give your body space between meals, through practices like intermittent fasting, you allow insulin to drop. Upset. Which lets your body access stored fat for energy. Upset. This not only supports weight loss, but also reduces inflammation and gives your digestive system time to rest and repair. Upset. You don't need to jump into long fasts to see benefits. Upset. Even avoiding constant snacking and sticking to 3 balanced meals a day can dramatically improve how your body feels. Again, upset. It's about taking one step at a time and giving your system a chance to reset. Food also has a powerful impact on the brain. Upset. Processed foods with chemical additives, trans fats, and refined sugars can cloud thinking and reduce focus. Upset. While nutrient-rich foods enhance clarity and memory. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish, for example, upset. Improve brain health and reduce inflammation. B vitamins from leafy greens and eggs support energy production in the brain. Upset. The connection between gut health and brain function is also well established now. Upset. With trillions of gut microbes influencing mood and mental performance. Upset. By feeding those microbes with fiber, rich vegetables, and fermented foods. Upset. You're supporting not just physical health, but also emotional well-being. Upset. The most important thing to remember is that nutrition is not about restriction. It's about nourishment. Upset. It's not about punishing yourself by cutting out foods you love. Upset. It's about upgrading your choices so your body gets more of what it needs. You don't need to become perfect overnight. Upset. You can start with simple swaps, replace refined carbs with whole ones, choose water over soda. Upset. Add an extra serving of vegetables to your plate. Each choice is a message to your body. Upset. I'm giving you what you need to thrive. And over time, those messages add up. They build resilience, energy. Upset. And strength in a way that no supplement, no pill, and no shortcut can ever truly match. Nutrition is the base of the pyramid. Upset. And when you build that base strong, upset. Everything else in your health journey becomes easier. Lifestyle is often overlooked when people think about health. Upset. Yet it plays as big a role as food. You can eat the most nutrient-dense meals, but if your life is filled with unmanaged stress, upset. Lack of movement and poor sleep, your body will struggle to reach its potential. The reason is simple. Upset. Your body is not just a collection of organs working separately. It's a system where everything is connected. Upset. Stress affects hormones, hormones affect digestion, sleep affects brain health, and movement affects circulation and energy. Upset. When lifestyle is neglected, even the best nutrition cannot fully compensate. The good news is that small, intentional lifestyle changes can shift your health in a powerful way. Upset. Stress is one of the most damaging yet invisible forces on health. In short bursts, stress is useful. Upset. It sharpens your focus and prepares you to deal with challenges. But in today's world, stress has become constant. Deadlines. Upset. Screens, noise, and worries keep your body's stress response turned on all the time. This floods your system with cortisol. Upset. A hormone that, when elevated chronically, weakens immunity, disrupts sleep, raises blood sugar. Upset. And encourages fat storage around the belly. Managing stress doesn't mean eliminating it. It means balancing it. Upset. Simple practices like deep breathing, short walks outside. Upset. Or even just taking a few minutes away from screens can lower cortisol and give the body a chance to reset. Over time, upset. These little breaks add up and protect your body from the harmful effects of chronic tension. Upset. Movement is another critical piece of lifestyle. The human body was designed to move daily. Upset. Not just for an hour in the gym, but throughout the day in small, consistent ways. Sitting for long periods slows circulation. Upset. Tightens muscles and decreases energy. Adding short bursts of activity, such as standing up every hour, stretching. Upset. Or walking after meals, keeps the body active and the metabolism flexible. Exercise does not need to be extreme to be effective. Upset. Light activity done consistently helps balance hormones, improves mood, and reduces the risk of many chronic diseases. Upset. When combined with good nutrition, movement amplifies results and creates a strong, resilient body. Upset. Sleep is often treated as optional, but it is actually one of the most important foundations of health. During deep sleep, upset, your body repairs tissues, balances hormones, and strengthens the immune system. Without enough quality sleep, cravings increase. Upset. Energy drops, and focus suffers. Even just one night of poor rest raises cortisol and insulin levels. Upset. Setting the stage for weight gain and fatigue. Creating a calming evening routine, limiting screen exposure before bed. Upset. And keeping a consistent sleep schedule can transform not only your nights, but also your days. Upset. Sleep is not wasted time. It is the ultimate form of recovery and preparation. Upset. Another overlooked lifestyle factor is sunlight and nature. Upset. Human beings are wired to live in rhythm with natural light and the outdoors. Upset. A few minutes of morning sunlight not only provides vitamin D, but also regulates your circadian rhythm. Upset. Helping you sleep better at night. Time spent in nature reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, and improves mood, upset. Even if you live in a busy city, making time to step outside, breathe fresh air, upset. And connect with your environment brings balance to your nervous system and resets your body in a way nothing else can, upset. All of these lifestyle factors, stress management, movement, sleep, upset, and connection with nature, work together with nutrition to create a solid foundation, upset. You can think of them as levers that influence your overall well-being. Pull one lever consistently and you notice a change, upset. Pull several at once and the transformation is remarkable. The best part is that, like with nutrition, upset. These changes don't have to be huge. A 10-minute walk, a breathing exercise, upset. Going to bed half an hour earlier. These are small, achievable steps that, when repeated, reshape your health, upset. Lifestyle is not about perfection, but about daily choices that align with how your body was designed to live, upset. When you prioritize these choices, you unlock energy, resilience, upset, and a deeper sense of balance that allows you to become stronger, healthier, upset. And better consistency is the secret ingredient that makes all the difference in a health journey, upset. Many people think success comes from making massive, dramatic changes all at once, upset. But the truth is that it's the small actions you repeat every single day that create lasting results, upset. The body responds best to repetition and routine. One workout won't transform your fitness, but exercising regularly will, upset. One healthy meal won't reset your metabolism, but eating clean consistently will, upset. One good night of sleep won't undo years of exhaustion, but making rest a priority every night will. Consistency compounds, upset. Just like a snowball rolling down a hill, the small momentum you build grows larger and more powerful over time, upset. The human body is designed to adapt. When you give it the same signals over and over again, upset. It begins to rewire itself in response. If you consistently choose foods that spike insulin, upset. Your body adapts by storing fat and becoming less sensitive to insulin. On the other hand, upset. If you consistently reduce sugar and feed your body nutrient-rich foods, upset. Your metabolism shifts toward fat burning and energy efficiency. The same is true for exercise. If you move daily, your muscles, upset. Heart and lungs get stronger. If you stay inactive, your body weakens. The key is not what you do once in a while, upset, but what you do over and over again, because that is what your body learns to expect and build itself around, upset. Consistency also builds habits, and habits shape identity. At first, it might feel difficult to make the healthier choice, upset. But when you repeat it enough times, it becomes automatic. For example, if you make a habit of walking after dinner, upset. Soon it won't feel like an effort. It will feel incomplete if you don't do it. If you regularly choose water over soda, upset. Over time, your taste buds adjust and you naturally stop craving the sweetness, upset. These patterns shift from being something you force yourself to do into something you simply are, upset. That shift in identity is the most powerful result of consistency. Because when you see yourself as a healthy person, upset, your actions naturally align with that belief. It's also important to understand that consistency doesn't mean perfection, upset. In fact, expecting perfection is what causes many people to quit. You don't have to eat perfectly clean all the time, upset. You just need to eat well most of the time. You don't have to exercise every single day, upset. You just need to stay active on a regular basis. Consistency allows room for flexibility, mistakes, and balance, upset. Missing one workout or having one indulgent meal won't ruin your progress, upset. What matters is that you get back to your routine the next day. The real power of consistency is not in never failing, upset, but in always returning to the path, upset. Another reason consistency is so effective is because it creates visible results that reinforce your motivation. At first, upset. You may not notice much change. The scale might barely move, your strength may feel the same, and your energy might fluctuate. Upset. But if you stick with it, the progress starts to show. Your clothes fit differently, your cravings shrink. Upset. Your endurance increases. These results build confidence and make you want to keep going. It's like planting a seed. Upset. Nothing seems to happen for weeks, but underground roots are spreading. When the first sprout breaks through the soil, upset. It's proof that your patience paid off. Health works the same way. The small, upset. Invisible changes inside your body eventually become visible on the outside. Upset. And that is when the power of consistency truly shines. Over time, upset. The compound effect of consistent choices doesn't just change your body, it changes your life. Upset. You have more energy to spend with loved ones, more clarity to focus on work, more resilience to handle stress. Upset. And more years to enjoy the things you love. None of that comes from quick fixes or extreme programs. Upset. It comes from showing up every day, even in small ways, and trusting the process. Upset. Consistency may not feel exciting in the moment, but it builds the foundation for extraordinary transformation. Upset. It turns ordinary actions into extraordinary results and proves that the little things done regularly, upset, are what truly make you stronger, healthier. Upset. And better progress over perfection is one of the most important mindsets to adopt when working toward better health. Too often, upset. People believe that they need to follow every rule flawlessly in order to see results. They think if they miss a workout, upset, slip up on their diet, or fall back into old habits even once, then everything is ruined. Upset. This kind of thinking is destructive because it sets up an impossible standard. Perfection does not exist. Upset. And trying to chase it only creates guilt, frustration, and eventually burnout. Progress, on the other hand, upset, is achievable and sustainable. Every positive step you take, no matter how small, moves you forward. That is what matters. Upset. The reality is that health is not a straight line. There will be ups and downs, good days and bad days. Upset. Moments of motivation and moments of weakness. Upset. Expecting perfection sets you up to feel like a failure the moment life gets in the way. But when you focus on progress, upset, you allow yourself to stay in the game even after setbacks. If you ate clean meals all week and then had dessert at a party, upset. That doesn't erase your progress. It's one small bump in a road filled with forward steps. Upset. The important thing is to keep moving, to get back on track the next day. Upset. And to recognize that one imperfect choice does not define your journey. Upset. Another reason progress matters more than perfection is because small, upset, consistent improvements create compounding results over time. Imagine someone who reduces their sugar intake by just 10%. Upset. At first, that might not seem like a big deal, but over weeks and months, that reduction lowers insulin spikes, reduces cravings, upset, and improves energy. Eventually, it becomes easier to cut sugar even further, and before long, their diet is transformed. Upset. If that same person had tried to cut out all sugar immediately and failed, they might have quit entirely. Upset. By focusing on steady progress, they achieved what striving for perfection never could. Upset. Perfectionism also creates unnecessary stress, and stress itself damages health. Upset. When you feel pressured to follow a rigid standard, your body reacts with elevated cortisol, which affects sleep, digestion, upset, and metabolism. This is why people who chase extreme diets often end up in worse shape mentally and physically. Upset. By shifting your mindset to progress, you remove the pressure and allow yourself to enjoy the process. Upset. You celebrate small victories, which keeps you motivated. Upset. And you build a positive relationship with your health instead of seeing it as a constant battle against failure. Upset. It's also important to recognize that progress looks different for everyone. For one person, progress might mean losing weight, upset. For another, it might mean having more energy, reducing joint pain, or simply being able to climb stairs without getting winded, upset. Comparing yourself to someone else's version of perfection will only discourage you. Instead, upset. Measure yourself against where you started. Ask yourself, am I stronger, healthier, or more energized than I was last month? Upset. If the answer is yes, then you're making progress. That is success. Upset. Even small actions that feel insignificant in the moment add up when you measure them over time. Upset. Skipping one soda may feel like nothing, but if you repeat that choice daily, upset. By the end of the year, you've avoided consuming tens of thousands of empty calories. Upset. Walking for just 10 minutes a day may not seem like much, but over a year, upset. That's more than 60 hours of movement your body wouldn't have had otherwise. Progress compounds, upset. And that is why it is so much more powerful than trying to be perfect. When you give yourself permission to focus on progress, upset, you unlock freedom. You no longer feel guilty for being human. You no longer feel trapped by an all or nothing mindset, upset. You learn to appreciate each step forward, and you realize that the journey is just as valuable as the destination, upset. Health becomes a process of growth rather than a test you can fail. That shift in perspective keeps you motivated, resilient, upset, and hopeful. In the end, perfection is an illusion, but progress is real, measurable, and transformative. It is progress, upset, not perfection, that creates lasting change and moves you steadily toward becoming stronger, healthier, upset, and better. Your health is a journey, not a destination, and that idea changes the way you approach every choice you make. Upset. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that health is something you can achieve once and then forget about. Upset. They set a goal to lose weight, build muscle, or hit a certain number on the scale, and they believe that once they reach it, upset, the work is done. But health doesn't work like that. The body is constantly changing, adapting to what you feed it, upset. How you move it and how you treat it. Just like a garden, it needs ongoing care and attention. You don't plant seeds, upset. Water them once and expect a lifetime of harvest. You nurture them consistently, and over time, you see growth and renewal, upset. Health works the same way. When you see health as a journey, it takes away the pressure of having to be finished, upset. There's no final point where everything becomes perfect and stays that way. Instead, upset. You learn to embrace the process of continuous improvement. Maybe today you make a better food choice, upset. Tomorrow you get a little more sleep, and the next day you take a walk when you would normally stay sitting, upset. These may not feel like big milestones, but they are steps forward, and the journey is made of those steps. Upset. Each one builds on the last, creating momentum that keeps carrying you forward. Upset. Seeing health as a journey also helps you deal with setbacks. On any long journey, there are delays, detours, and obstacles. Upset. Maybe you fall back into old eating habits, or you skip workouts during a busy season, or stress throws your routine off track. Upset. If you see health as a destination, you may think you've failed because you didn't reach it. But if you see it as a journey, upset. You understand that setbacks are just part of the road. You don't quit a road trip because you hit traffic. You keep driving, upset. In the same way, you don't give up on your health just because you had a rough week. You reset, take the next step, upset, and keep going. Another benefit of viewing health as a journey is that it shifts your focus from quick fixes to lasting habits, upset. Fad diets, extreme cleanses, and short-term workout programs might deliver temporary results, upset. But they don't create a sustainable lifestyle. Once they end, people often slide back into old habits, undoing their progress. Upset. But when you commit to a journey, you stop looking for shortcuts and start building routines that can last a lifetime. Upset. You understand that the goal isn't to be perfect for 30 days, it's to make choices you can carry with you for years. Upset. That perspective creates a sense of freedom because you know you don't have to rush. You just have to keep moving. Upset. Thinking of health as a journey also encourages you to appreciate the improvements along the way instead of only focusing on a final goal. Upset. Maybe you haven't reached your ideal weight yet, but you have more energy to play with your kids. Upset. Maybe you still have work to do with your fitness, but your digestion is better or your skin is clearer. These are real wins. Upset. And when you recognize them, you stay motivated. The journey gives you many opportunities to celebrate progress. Upset, which makes the process more rewarding and less stressful. Most importantly, upset. The journey mindset helps you integrate health into who you are rather than treating it as something external you have to chase. Upset. When health is a destination, you treat it like an achievement to unlock. When health is a journey, upset. It becomes part of your identity. You are someone who cares for your body, who makes daily choices that honor your well-being. Upset, and who understands that this commitment lasts a lifetime. That identity will carry you through the ups and downs. Upset, because it's no longer about a finish line. It's about the kind of person you are becoming every day. Upset. When you embrace the idea that health is a journey, upset, you stop worrying about how far you have left to go and instead focus on the step you can take today. Upset. And when you take enough steps over weeks, months, and years, upset, you realize that the path itself has shaped you into someone stronger, healthier, and better